Off the Cup Radio, live and direct, man. It's live streaming, man. It gets so grimy, I tuck my chain in right here. But what's good with y'all, man? I've been on a hiatus for a little while. 2-week vacation due to YouTube sending me on 2-week vacation. But now I'm back. There's a lot going on. And you know I'm here to talk about it. First thing first, I want to thank everybody that's continuing to support us. You know what I'm saying? The King Air Productions page. Definitely thank y'all for supporting that. And we're going to go further from there. Hold on one second. Oh, man. It's good to be back. It's been a minute to rock with y'all. I was on vacation due to the fact that YouTube was bugging again. And I want y'all to subscribe to the King Air Productions page first and foremost. Follow that page right there. Just in case they do something to this one. Just in case one day you don't see this page no more, y'all can go there. I'm going to have my content over there. So, what's been going on since I've been away? A lot of debauchery been happening. A whole lot of debauchery been happening. Where can I start? Where's the start from? First thing first, we heard the news earlier. I reported this. Rest in peace to my good friend Charlie Rock from the original Terror Squad. He passed away. And it was kind of surprising to me, no lie, man, because we had just talked last week. We were just talking about him doing some more work with his podcast and getting his merchandise out there. And I was going to probably line up an interview in the future with him. But see, I'm not like a lot of these coattail riding channels. I'm not going to just jump on the channel and get some clout off his back. You know what I'm saying? He just gave us a shout out anyway. You can check that out. He gave us a drop anyway. Because I'm like, look, everybody else is doing interviews with him. I don't want to just jump on the wave and get an interview with him because that's the thing to do. I don't do that. I move on my own accord. So, big rest in peace to him, man. Big Daddy Low Diesel, what's good, man? Rest in peace, real soldier, Charlie Rock LD. Now, you notice the Fat Joe, he said something real slick, right? He said something real slick about Charlie Rock when he said God don't like ugly in his post. I can't really, Charlie was going hard on Joe, so, I can't really be mad about that. Like, it is what it is. That's a beef on that end that I'm not going to get in the middle of. I don't know how how deep and personal that was. So, I can only just play the middle, so to speak, and just do my part. Like, Charlie was good to me. We was doing some work together. I helped him, get that podcast going. If you listen to his first show, I chimed in on him and showed him some love. And that was that. So, rest in peace to him, man. We gonna keep the yard going on his behalf. Now, what's been going on with the world, man? Now, I'm hearing this thing here with Usher and Chris Brown. They got into a Pier 6 brawl. And my mind was this. This possibly could be fake. I did a report earlier because it looked legit. But in my mind, I was thinking, okay, how, number one, there's no arrest made. If Usher's a A-list superstar, B-list superstar in this industry, and a nigga like that getting beat down, nobody goes to jail. What's wrong with that picture? Number one, they would announce the arrest. You would have seen blood. Usher showed his face earlier. I ain't see nothing, no cuts, no nothing. So I'm thinking, they worked us. I don't know why they worked us, but they worked us. Because we saw the video where it seemed like he was arguing with Tiana Taylor or something. I mean, that was another oddball. Like, why is Tiana Taylor in the middle of this when she's with Iman Shumpert? You know what I'm saying? Why is she in the middle of this Chris Brown Usher thing? Now, a lot of people will probably look at it like, well, he's protecting a black woman being disrespected. I still didn't know the context of this. Nobody knew the context of it. And then Usher supposedly have threw this dude a birthday party. So why would you get a nigga that jumped and you threw him a birthday party? Something didn't add up with this story. So when Usher revealed his face, I said, okay, this shit is a work. These niggas worked us. They worked the blogs. I don't know what game it is, but they worked us. And now you see Chris Brown, he's performing at the Usher show. Nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong. So, in my opinion, I'm happy that it went that way because that would have been stupid for Chris Brown on behalf. Like, you gonna beat down Usher? Usher is very beloved in this industry, man. And not to mention, he's beloved and respected by a lot of heavy players. Like, we could say Clive Davis, Babyface, Diddy. That would be suicide for Chris Brown to beat a nigga like that up. If that was the case, it was lame as hell for them to do it. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of, you right about that. Like, nigga, y'all ain't promoting no product though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we gaining out of this shit? Like, y'all leaking a song together? Like, what's the gain out of this? I don't know what the gain out of that. Like, what are y'all supposed to gain? Rap is like WWE now. Exactly. This shit is more WWE than WWE. Sure. The rap game is the fakest thing out there now. This music industry is something else. But that's what I was saying, just like you asked. Like, what do you guys gain out of that though? Y'all both are famous. There is no verses coming anytime soon. So why the publicity stunt? Why you gotta do it? Leave it to these young niggas to do that. Don't. Why you guys gotta sit there and feel like you gotta do that? I don't understand it. But this is just the world we live in right now. It's the world we live in right now, unfortunately. People would rather use shenanigans than use talent these days to sell themselves. But if nobody got hurt, I guess. But then again, I'm like, there's nothing to gain out of this situation, man. Like, that's a waste of blogging. That's a waste of posting. I mean, I could see if the niggas had a verses coming up or they got a collab album coming in. Yeah, Usher too old for that. Usher damn near 50 doing some shit like that, man. Like, come on, man. You already got an established catalog. You're a legend in this business. You ain't got to do this weird shenanigans. I knew for sure when Whack 100 jumped his nosy ass in that all the facts wasn't going to really be there. So, I knew from the gate, this had to be something like a work. There had to be something like fake. And when Usher showed his face, that was it for me. I was like, man, this nigga didn't get jumped. They fooled the hell out of us. It's just too bad we don't gain nothing out of it. Just a hot story for the moment. Not Chris Brown getting a tussle. Usher was giving Chris his flower, literally. I hope. It was a work, bro. If you look at my Facebook, I posted a video. Chris Brown was performing at Usher's show. And Usher just showed his face. No bruises, no nothing. Them niggas worked us, man. I guess they're working us to sell some tickets. I don't know. But that's all this shit is all about, man. I'm like, these niggas is crazy. I mean, this economy got people going crazy, man. Like, I don't know, man. This economy got y'all going nuts, man. This world going nuts because it's uncertain economy. You got women out there shitting on bus drivers. You got men out there shitting on women. I mean, society's in a loophole right now. You see, I'm going to give y'all the mentality of why we're at this stage right quick. See, we're based off economics, man. Economics is why you see a lot of these shenanigans happen. Economics is responsible for a lot of this stuff you see. When you see old niggas like Chris Brown and Usher doing publicity stunts. Economics is when you see people getting out there and saying the most vile, disrespectful, stupid shit. All for attention. All for attention, because attention means currency right now. And with the economy the way it is in bad shape, people move and operate differently. People even date differently. That's why you go out there and you stare at people saying, I need a rich person. This person got to have this. This person got to have that. And you notice people's standards is already that high. That's because we live in a space where nobody can afford to be impatient. We live in a world based off uncertainty right now. Nope. 2020 changed all that. 2020 changed all that. I was talking to my girl about this earlier. 2020 changed the whole trajectory of how this world run. And now people are looking at it like, shit, I got to get mines now. I can't wait I have the money. I have the money making Mitch mentality. I can't wait 10 years. I got to get 10 days, nigga. That's the way I move. And unfortunately, people when they move in uncertainty, they make bad decisions. And this is what you see with a lot of people now. So the economy and uncertainty, just like you mentioned on the bottom with the AI, you got the AI coming in. And they're pumping fear mongering on these algorithms every hour. If you have a phone and you subscribe to Newsbreak, they pump up fear every 30 minutes. And there's nothing wrong with being alert with this world and what's going on, but every 30 minutes is about something in Ukraine, it's something about the war, it's something about the debt ceiling, it's all about a shooting here, a robbing here, a stabbing here. They're cutting budgets here, food stamps here, they're cutting Social Security. All this negativity every 30 minutes. So then you go from that, then you go to these gurus, these podcast gurus. Every nigga got a podcast now. Everybody has a relationship analyst. And you're getting that poison. So then you're getting your other poison from this fake beef, like my man Cody just said. You're getting this fake beef going on. So now all of this negative that you plugging in your head is playing onto your sight. And now when you go out in the real world, you just looking crazy to the average Joe, or the regular Joe for the most part. A bad economy makes people move differently. That's why you see a lot of these women saying all this batshit crazy stuff out here. A man gotta have 6 figures, six figures. Calling a person who was a birth child or something like that mediocre is wild. Anybody can. Yeah, exactly. Now see, I don't care for anybody's preference. I really don't give a damn about this woman for the most part. I don't like the fact that we're at a space where we're putting down common men and common women. Because back in 2020, we needed those motherfuckers. We needed the meat man. We needed the butcher. We needed the mailman. We needed the grocery clerk. We needed the food truck manager. We needed all these people. The bus driver, the trash man. Y'all weren't complaining when y'all was taking that bus. Y'all weren't complaining when y'all was getting those burgers, when you getting those fries every morning. But you want to put them down. I don't understand where we got to this stage in life where we're putting down common people for doing common things. I don't understand it. And a lot of the men are just as bad because see y'all trying to snivel your way to get some cheap panda pussy, and y'all think y'all gonna get in, but at the end of the day, you're sounding stupid. I'm like, where do we get to the stage as black people to where we shitting on common people for doing this, but yet you need these people? Call Jay-Z. See, he gonna pick up your trash, nigga. Call who else? Call Lil Wayne to pick you up from the bus from work, nigga. See where that gonna get you. I'll wait. These people are what we need in society. They were the as they say, as these politicians said, they were the backbone of this country. They were considered the hero because they worked when this shit was going down. But a lot of y'all niggas was sitting in the office, while y'all little pussies was sitting in the office. Y'all had your little desk jobs. You couldn't come outside. These people were working outside. These people were risking day and night. These people were working 15-hour shifts in the midst of this fucked up pandemic, while everybody else get to sit in the office and collect unemployment and stuff. These people were out there in the front line. So then they stick their nose up. And just like I was getting to it with a lot of these people on Shade Room, I don't know if Spiritual World or Shade Room, and a lot of these heifers was down in the bus driver. I'm like, number one, y'all heifers take the bus more than me. Y'all more than the bus driver probably do. I think rap made us put down regular people. That's true. That's true. And see, the problem is with black people, my brother, is that we don't know when to turn the entertainment off. You know what I mean? The problem is we invite entertainment in our regular lives. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you this, man. My daddy, God rest his soul, he used to buy all them rap records for me when I was younger. We talking all the stuff because I couldn't get in the stores and buy the records. He bought all the stuff. We talking Too Short, Spice One, Dre, Snoop, Pop, you name it. I listen to that all the time. Still do. But I realize it's entertainment. I'm not going to live my life through this record. That's their story. That's their crosses to bear. They got to handle it in that industry. I'm not going to sit there and put what I'm thinking into my everyday life with them. And rap can be very influential. It really can. It really can. I know a lot of people that wanted to dress like Method Man and Snoop Dogg. They were the two hottest niggas. But when you have a strong foundation of parenthood, my father, God rest his soul, and my mother that will check you on that, and at the same time let you know that you got to be you, you'll be okay. But see, the problem is people don't have that game in them, man. They don't have a strong foundation. So therefore, the rappers is the daddy. The rappers is the mama. You know what I'm saying? The actors is the mama. Celebrity culture is what's raising the kids today. Celebrity culture is what's raising society. So people are trying to live on celebrity standards. That's where we at with it. Nowadays, we want to be hit the celebs, entertainers, and athletes speak for us apart. Exactly. Exactly. I've been saying that for a long time. I've been saying that for a very long time. But see, the problem is with us, and see, people ask me, M.E., you only talk about rap. Rap is what pay the bills. Music is what pay. I got bills, kid. I got rent. I got a car note. I could kick this God body stuff all day, but I can only get, what, one subscriber? But I could tell you who got beat down, who got shot. Oh, click, subscribe. The views are going to go up. But I could tell y'all all this stuff about the God body science, the Moorish temples, and anything spiritual based, academics, all that stuff. I could go to the 5 sciences. I could go all that stuff, man. But niggas ain't gonna want to hear that shit. They don't. They want entertainment. They want beef. Don't let pop culture raise your kids. Just enjoy the music. Exactly. But see, they can't do that now because, see, their parents are also involved. When you have your parents, it's monkey see, monkey do. The kids are going to follow what the parents do. You see your mama out there doing that stuff. You see your daddy out there doing that stuff. The kid ain't going to sit there and be like, oh, okay. You doing it, so it's better. I can do it. You can't say nothing to me. That's a major problem with celebrity worship. People need to realize that providing a service just like anyone else. But because of the nature they do it, people put them on a pedestal. Exactly. I'm surprised you didn't talk about Benny the Butcher getting his first gold plaque with Johnny P. Caddy that had J. Cole on it. Big salute to them dudes, man. We actually got a picture. I got a picture out there with Benny, man. I met Benny a while back. Real cool dude. I met J. Cole in 2012, 2013, around that time before he really got big. That was real cool. Salute to them brothers, man. That was a dope record, man. There's still good hip hop out there, man. It's still good hip hop out there, and big salute to them to doing that, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post that on the page. So, big salute to Benny the Butcher and J. Cole for getting that dope record. That's a dope record right there. That's a real dope record right there. But yeah, man, going back to celebrity culture, man, like, black people got to know when to turn it off, man. We got to know when to turn it on and turn it off. And see, the problem, we try to live by this shit. We can't just sit there and just watch Power. Women got to be like, oh, my man got to be like Ghost. I'm not getting in no damn drug deals. You want to shoot out? Take your ass to the South Side. There's a lot of action there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting no South Side. I'm not getting no shooting. I create content. I do interviews. I do what I do on the side. I'm not trying to get involved with none of that bull. And people should feel like they should put their foot down. Like, look, we're not getting involved in no street nonsense. Like, look, we made it out. Why are we gonna go back and be street? Oh, you my man gotta have an edge. I go. That's the mindset that men have to develop. Like, if your chick try to pressure you to be on some bullshit that you not comfortable with, let her go. Don't try to confine who you are. That's what a lot of people are doing. You don't have to get braids like, you don't have to look like Quavo. I don't want to look like these niggas. I don't. You got to be comfortable with who you are. See, that's the problem with us. Just like I was saying, man, like, you got to stop living your life vicariously through these rappers, man. They not even living their truth, so why are you going to do it? Indeed, there is still good hip-hop and R&B out there. Folks look in the wrong places. Problem is, though, is that we were spoiled. Switch your topics for a minute. Problem is, we were spoiled. We had good music everywhere. Anytime you turned the radio on, you had the mix shows, you had the mainstream shows, you had all that was good. We had real good music throughout the whole 90s and the 80s. And you could say the mid-2000s as well. Because every platform was feeding us good music. Now, all that is gone, and people going to have to dig and find the good music. Now, you got to find these artists. Big shout out to Common. We find a lot of dope artists in the rap world, man. We do Screwball Radio every Saturday. He be introducing me to people I ain't never even heard, but them niggas is dope. So the rap world is in a good space. The rap world is definitely in a good space to me. If you don't listen to the mainstream, I don't listen to none of that Hot 97 garbage. I don't listen to none of that. I think people are bored of music now and like the drama. That's the problem, my man. Why you think with a lot of these podcasts, they don't even interview them about music? Nothing's about music. One thing I give Doggy Diamonds and Gully Kiwi credit for, they always interview their guests about music. But everybody else, it ain't nothing about music. Ever. Oh yeah, and Beehive ATL. That's one of my favorite shows too. He's dope too as well. And Us. I gotta say Us, of course, and Screwball. It's all about music. We don't get into none of that drama stuff. And I could do it, but I don't choose to do it because I don't want to be involved in that, man. We do this to get out of those environments. You got squares like love to get in, like the academics of the world. They want to get in there because they never been involved with anything street. We try to get away from it because we know how the shit go down. These people that been inside their basement their whole lives, they find this shit is fascinating. So that's why they're more fascinated with who's snitching, oh, who's telling, oh, who shot who. That's why. That's why. So you're right, my man. Music is taking a back seat and people want to see drama. And I see it. I see it. But I want to switch topics for a minute, man. I'm going to tell y'all this. Y'all definitely got to check out Dear Mama. I was skeptical because of me being a Tupac fan. I was skeptical because of the Hughes brothers was directing this shit. And I was like, oh, damn, here we go again. These niggas gonna put the fork in Tupac legacy. And they gonna add his mama to it. Oh, godly. It's gonna be bad. But you know what? This has been the best Tupac-related documentary I've seen. It's basically filling the potholes that Resurrection left out. You're getting a lot of new footage of Tupac, as a matter of fact. You get to really see the pain, the suffering, and the trauma that Tupac and his mama went through, man. They've been through some shit. Being Black Panthers and everything, targeted from the government from day one. I understand Tupac in a way where he a lot of his trauma, why he will blow up like he blow up, why he will lash out like he lash out. The man been through a lot. Whew. That's why I don't understand these. I don't understand with these rappers. They want to be like Pac. No, you don't. Tupac had to walk some heavy shoes, man. Yeah, better than Tupac Resurrection. Better than Tupac Resurrection. It got into more so the root of what made him, his mama. We get to see what his mama went through. And Afeni was one of the strongest black women that ever walked this planet. They see what I liked about this here, and they got in touch with more so Tupac Panther roots as well. Resurrection was great. I'm not taking that away. But this right here, you get to see more so the militant side of Pac in a way. They started off with them talking about him shooting them 2 white cops. And I was like, oh, there's going to be some good shit here. There's going to be some good shit here. And you get to see, and they get to talk about what he been through with police brutality. You get to see him defending his music on different talk shows. Footage I never seen. They got so much Tupac footage locked in. It's crazy. Even the one he did with Khalid Muhammad at the Indiana Expo, they played most of that. I was like, man, we need his energy, man. I don't care what anybody say. Nigga, rap was not the same when Tupac got killed, man. That was a total blow to not only the culture, but black society. Because we need that nigga energy right now. What I liked about him is Tupac stood for something. He stood for his people. He was very erratic, and he could be a wild dude, but he stood for black people. He stood for people. He stood for righteousness. And he wasn't a type to bite his tongue for nothing. See, a lot of these niggas, they'll sit there and play the game today. They'll sit there and play the safe role to keep the bag. Tupac was like, man, look, what do you know about my people? You can't talk about my people. Yeah, there's racism here. I want to speak on it. So I salute that. But yeah, the Hughes brothers did a masterful job, man. From the presentation, from the visuals, the right guests he brought up there. He brought up Snoop. Even though a lot of people feel some way about Snoop, I'm gonna get to that later. But you had Snoop up there. You had Mike Tyson up there. You had a lot of Tupac's family members up there. You had Eminem. I'm curious where they're gonna go with that. Who else? Ray Love, Idi Amin. You know who they need to reach out to though? They need to reach out to Castro. He was one other outlaw. Castro and Storm. They need to get them on this somehow. Like they need to get an interview with them, but Storm don't do interviews. Castro, I ain't heard from Castro in almost 20 years. Yeah, man. When Tupac passed, nigga, that was one of the blackest days ever, bro. Woo! People don't understand how gloomy that day was, man. Woo! I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it, man. Nigga, that was one of the few where I seen niggas in the hood cry. I'm talking about fresh out the pen, big muscles, gangbangers. I seen when I was staying at the South Side, man, they were crying. I mean, that's how much an impact that dude had. Because, Tupac had family roots out here in the Carolinas. So, his impact was felt. But, y'all definitely need to check that out, man. Tupac, Dear Mama. That is some fire. It's I think 4 episodes in right now. That One Nation album 97 would have made a huge difference if Tupac was alive in that drop. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because see, Tupac was the type of person where he started a project, he was going to finish it. He wasn't going to leave shit unfinished. That's the type of worker that he was. And he had about 6, 7 songs already done on the project. That nigga was doing some work. That nigga was doing movies, recorded double albums, smashing the baddest chicks in the industry, riding on his enemies. Like, damn. That nigga did all that in what? He lived 20 years in 9 months and still got music coming. That's a cold dude, man. Rest in peace, Pop, man. Well, DMX was the only one that's helped. X can't. See, let me tell you this, man. X was the closest. Even though X was different. X was more so spiritual. Pop was spiritual, but X was more so spiritual. X didn't have the political content like Tupac did. But he spoke to the niggas that didn't have nothing. He spoke to the poor. He spoke to people that could relate to somebody that's not having anything. That's when that song. I remember when I heard "Born Loser" in '94. I was like, "Who this nigga?" But then I started really hearing more of him. I'm like, "Yo, this nigga gonna be a problem." And keep in mind, it was somebody they was looking for. I wasn't around when he was alive, but how different was his image in the media compared to now? I only asked because he was saying he was crucified. Yeah, good question. I'm glad you asked me that. Around that time, man, people dissed him hard, man. Like he caught a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like now, he's considered on a pedestal, but back then when he died, a lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people didn't like him because if anything, when Big died, people more so shifted to Big, so to speak. They didn't want to fuck with Tupac's brand at all. There was a period where nobody wanted to fuck with Tupac brand at all because they felt he was responsible for Big getting killed. When in reality, that wasn't really the case. It was just guys being involved in situations that they had no business being involved with, and them being young and getting money like that. It's hard to really say and judge. But Tupac caught a lot of flack, man. I mean, every day I would see this nigga on the news for something. Like he had court cases. He hit some rapper with a bat. He was shooting at cops. He got arrested for this. He got arrested for the Hughes brother. But he was making some dope ass music. He was a very conflicted individual. In the way he moved, it was like this. 93, that's where he became more so a star because he blew up with the Janet Jackson movie. When he blew up with the Janet Jackson movie, the chicks loved him. Like, the niggas already loved him because he was putting out the hard records with the Panther stuff, with Tupacalypse Now and Juice. But when he put out that Poetic Justice, then he released Keep Your Head Up and I Get Around. That was it. The women automatically came to him. So then, the problem was, though, he was always getting into a lot of trouble, man. Like, he was a great artist, but he kept on getting a lot of trouble, and a lot of black publications didn't like him. Now, they respect him now because he's dead and they understand him. But a lot of people used to write hit pieces about Tupac, man. I'm talking Torre, bitch ass. Michael K. Dyson didn't like him. No matter what these niggas say now, they ain't like him back then. Al Sharpton didn't really like him. But see now, and that's what one thing people could say for sure about Suge Knight. He rolled with Pop. People could disagree with him. Like he rolled with Tupac. He checked a lot of that BS at the door when it came to people trying to eat off Pac's name and say they loved him, but in reality they were bashing him when he was alive. So the whole thing with the shooting, the rape case, him shooting the cops, man, he had something going on every single day. That nigga whole life was like a movie for real. That's why people are so intrigued with his life today. But to live and see it, man, it was something to see, man. And I was like, damn, this nigga got shot 5 times and came out the court, survived it, and lived to talk about it. You're a cold nigga. Shit. You're a cold nigga. But yeah, man, the media, white media couldn't stand him because of his Panther roots. Black media, they thought that he was misrepresenting the black community because, you know, he promoted Thug Life. When in reality, Thug Life was incorporated with Panther Code. See, Tupac tried to branch all these congregations together because he always community oriented. But it was very challenging because, you know, he had a lot of pressure. He had a lot of pressure of upholding his name. He had a lot of pressure to uphold this new fame he was getting. It was a whole lot on him. And he was like, what, 22 years old? People got to understand, he was 22 years old. 22 years old doing this shit. It's crazy that Tupac had to transform the thug life of people to take him seriously as an artist. Yeah, man. That led to his demise too, unfortunately, too, man, because He tried. He tried to actually pull back, believe it or not. When he went to jail, he tried to pretty much be like, look, I'm pulling back from thug life. I'm gonna post on something positive. But niggas was calling his bluff. You know, people were calling his bluff on the East Coast. They were calling him pussy. They said he got raped in jail and all this stuff. So he came out, wanted to prove his masculinity, prove his machismo. He wanted to prove he was the most macho out there. So he came out with the thug life. That's why. He was gonna basically bow out of it pretty much, but niggas was telling him in jail, like, man, you can't bow, you pussy now. And you know, at that time, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that, man. You couldn't just bow out. But he went to Death Row. Death Row gave him protection. He had them Pyru's connections, so niggas won't test him like that. He really went there for protection, and you know, Suge Knight needed somebody at that time, some new star power. He needed somebody that could re-energize the label, because niggas done got money, cats done got bread, they done got settled, they won't work it. Tupac came up there with the militant mindset, like, look, I'm ready to work. Let's go, let's go. Get this dude on the song, get this dude on the song. Let's go, let's go, let's go. They weren't used to that, but they had to get in line for it. That's why you have so many records coming out to this day about Pop. And more still coming. That's the way he worked. And you notice this too, with they trying to release something with Big, the Life After Death series. Now, why would you do that around the time Dear Mama is out? They see Dear Mama doing numbers, so now you see Puffy and Biggie people trying to be like, okay, we gotta put this out on Big, and nothing against Big, nothing against Big, but they should have put that out when Life After Death came out on the anniversary in March. See, now people aren't gonna really watch that. They're more so watching the Tupac Dear Mama, because you're getting visuals versus a podcast visual. You're getting real visuals. The Biggie joint, I watched it. It gave you podcast visuals. They interviewed Fat Joe and people like that, and that was cool. But this right here, the Big joint ain't competing with. I'm sorry. Y'all should have went ahead and did that in March. Y'all should have done that on Big's birthday. Or y'all ain't competing with this Tupac Dear Mama docu-series. I'm sorry. The Hughes brothers has got their foot on the gas pedal with that shit. Y'all gonna have to come back with that one, man. Love Big. Life After Death was one of my favorite albums. But right now, it's about Dear Mama, man. Tom Whaley and Jimmy Iovine owns Tupac estate being sued. I don't know if Jimmy Iovine owns it anymore. I know Tom Whaley does. And now this is the right thing he's actually doing for a change with the Tupac brand, because he been mishandling this shit for a while. I don't want to see a Thug Life skateboard. I don't give a fuck about that. Just give us the music and represent Tupac name right. I don't want to see Tupac on a candy bar. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Tupac rapping to McDonald's. I don't give a fuck about that. Just give us the music, man. Just give us a music, good documentaries, and represent his name well. That's all you got to do. Don't let these culture vultures try to do that, man. Like, cut it out. The Tupac McFry. Don't do no stuff like that, man. Now you're whoring the brand. I think in the interview, he said that they said the same thing to Malcolm X about how he was betrayed by the media. I think that goes back to hip-hop and the world in general. There's a lack of self-thought. Absolutely. Tom Wheatley and Jimmy Iovine ain't going to release his original music, or they're going to turn into AI. Now, see, in fairness, I will say this too. I'll take that back. It's going to be a little bit hard to release the original tunes like that, because those sample clearances, you got to compensate a lot of those producers, because Tupac was using a lot of samples. He was just recording shit. He didn't care. So and a lot of that stuff wasn't even meant to make the cutting floor. He just recorded it and left it there in the vault. So they're gonna have to pay out a whole bunch of sums to a lot of producers and arrangers, composers, engineers, all that shit. Cause I talked to my man on Boski. He made the Machiavelli cover right now. And he's going through hell right now to get the rights to that shit. That's why I'm not really riding with the Tupac estate, because they trying to take that from him. So we bigging him up on this one. He said that he's gonna come on the Off the Cuff radio show real soon after he get this legal stuff done. But this is what he been going through with that. That's why we're not really riding with the Tupac estate right now, because they're doing it misjustice. Even though the Hughes brothers, hold on, what you saying? Would you rather have a 2-hour interview released with no cuts, or never heard music that never been seen a lot of day or league? Hmm. That's a good question. It all depends on my mood, bro. Cause my mood changes quick. But really though, no, for real though. Then you talk about the big joint. You talking about the pot joint. Yeah, my mind's a little foggy. But yeah, that's not gonna compete with Tupac, bro. You right. Tupac double album versus Biggie double album. I like both of them, man. They're two different artists, man. I can't really compare them like that. You know what I'm saying? But it all depends on my mood, on what I'm listening to. Tupac double album was more so for people that want to go to parties, they want to ride out, they want to bump it in the whip. Big was like that too, but Big also, you had a different form of diversity there. You had the stuff that you could play in your headphones, you know, the train music. You had the bars, you had the songs for the ladies. They're both great albums. Man. I can't even choose between the best of them. I listen to All Eyes on Me more personally. But Big, don't sleep on Life After Death, man. Life After Death was cold. One of my all-time favorite songs up there was My Downfall. Woo, that song was fucking cold. That song up there, and what's another one up there that was dope? Life After Death has some dope shit. Somebody Gotta Die. Exchange hugs and pounds, win the throwdown. Man, the storytelling on that shit. Niggas Bleed. The storytelling on them joints was crazy. And plus, what I like about, talk about Life After Death for a minute. Life After Death production, it was darker. It had a more somber tone. And you could tell that they spent a shitload of money on engineering that. I mean, that album to this day, it definitely holds up. You listen to songs like Last Day. You listen to Niggas Bleed. You listen to Going Back to Cali, 10 Crack Commandments. All those songs still hold up today. See, Tupac and Biggie, they had the gift and the blessings of having the best producers. That many double sum. Absolutely, that shit had subs. I don't know what Styles P talking about. Styles P talking about Long Kiss Goodnight with no Pac diss. Bullshit. Bullshit. That was the Lock Diss Tupac on the song Last Day. There was another freestyle that the Locks dissed Tupac on. It was on one of old Bad Boys mixtape I had. I can't find it. I'm gonna have to look through it though, but they were dissing him. They said something about you getting lit up in that lobby or some shit like that. But I'm gonna find it. Hopefully I can upload it on the channel. I'm gonna find it though. But nevertheless, y'all, I'm about to sign out of here for the night, man. I had to just chop it up with y'all, man. Glad to see everybody good. I want y'all to know that subscribe to the King Eric Productions channel. Do that for me, man, because I'm trying to get those numbers up there just in case I wake up one day and this channel gone. Y'all can come over there. So help me get 100K and I'm going to leave this page alone. And I'm going to go over there and build that page up so I can start getting some money. So y'all have a good night. Look out for more content in the coming weeks. Holla at me.